Okay, for those that were wanting the instruction video for how to make the chenille yarn rabbits, this is the form that I got at Dollar Tree. Oh, with all this little, I don't know, tinsel garland and stuff all over it. And I just remove all of this tinsel stuff, starting with a foot. And it takes just a little bit to get all this unwound. There are these little notches here. I don't know if you can see on the camera or not. These are little pegs, and they just unloop like that. And honestly, that's basically how you're going to do your chenille back across it. So let's get this unnotched here, and then we will start the next step. Okay, now to start wrapping, I'm going to take this end, and I've already hot glued it on the back. I glued this little piece down so that when you're wrapping, this doesn't come loose. You could possibly tie it, but the way that this chenille pulls, it would still pull loose from the tie. I like to start at this notch right here, because I can wrap it all the way down and then pull it and wrap it across and just use one piece instead of if you started at the base and up, you'd have to use 2 or 3 separate pieces. So start here at this notch, go in front, and then you lock this one behind this notch. Now these on the inside do not have a little peg on the top, so they will kind of slip off of these if you're not careful, if you pull it too tight. But you have to pull it all the way through the back here so that it's all the way around that notch, and pull up against it. You don't want to pull too tight, because you want this fluffy to where it hides all of these little plastic pieces, and it helps to hide your little notches on the sides. If some stick out too much, you can stick a little drop of hot glue here and pull these pieces together and let it sit so it hides those notches if they stick out too much. And then you wrap it back behind that notch, push it through, and then pull it so it catches against that little notch. Again, not too tight. You want your fluffiness there. Back behind that notch, and then pull it through, let it catch. Wrap it here, pull it through, and let it catch. And then you'll see, like one seems shorter or longer, and you can adjust that and pull against it and adjust that as you like. Then this piece you wrap behind, then all the way across in the front. You're going to loop it there, and then here you're going to loop behind. We're going to take some hot glue right here along that little plastic piece, and then you're going to push that up, hold it, let it sit. So that'll stay in place and cover that bar. Then you're going to pull it back across, pull it back down in that little hole. Now see, my notch is over there, so I have to make sure it gets behind that notch. This is going to be one of those that I might have to put a little hot glue on. Some of them don't hold very well. See how short that one is? So Stick a little hot glue right there. And then pull that up against there. Hold it, let it sit. On that side to hide the bar. And do the same on the other side. And pull these together. Don't get your fingers in it, that hurts. It burns. Okay. Roll that up. There we go. Now normally, these little parts of the bar and stuff, once I finish wrapping, then I go back and do any additional hot gluing that needs to be done to hide the bars. Okay. Now, wrap behind the notch and then push that through. Make sure it's got behind there. Pull. That needs a little more fluff. There we go. Behind. Behind that notch. And that one. And then behind. And then you'll take your hot glue gun to glue this down. I'm going to snip off the extra and glue this piece down. You're going to do the same thing for each section. There. Okay, now let me see. Let's see which section is next. Okay, now the arm section is 36 inches. It's 35, well, it's 35, but I'd like to allow an extra inch or two for to make sure you have enough to glue it down. Here's the thing, if you cut it an inch or two longer, if there's variations in the forms, which I've already found that there are some subtle little differences between this one and the other one. For instance, this little notch here, I'm gonna have to cut this off because this shows where on the other form it was down here, you know, to hold your wreath. And so this one, when you get it, all the fluff on it, this still shows. So I'm gonna have to cut that one off. So it's better to allow an extra inch or two to make sure you have enough for your particular form. This one, I'm gonna start on this notch and I'm gonna wrap it behind and I'm gonna glue it down. Make sure it stays where I need it. Hold that. Alright. And then like we did with the other one, you wrap across and then behind. And you catch these little notches here. Go under, pull against. The same way we did the legs. Now, I'm not going to keep the video going for the whole entire thing because y'all know the process now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these pieces and I'll be right back to show you the next section. Okay, when you get this arm done and you go behind this notch, you go all the way across here. And then you're going to catch that behind, come this way to catch that notch, and continue on. Okay, when you get that finished, wrapped all the way to the end, you turn it around, snip that end off, and hot glue that down. Hold it on in place and let that dry just a little bit, and then we'll continue on to the next section. Okay, so now to the face and the ears, the outside part of the ears. Take the end, glue it down, on this side. You can do really either side you want to do. It's easier for me, I'm right-handed, to do it from this side around. You hold that in place. Let it dry a little bit. Wrap all the way across. Catch behind this one. And then just back and forth, behind. 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 I leave these a little looser so that I can adjust the shape like I like it. Alright. Come behind that little notch there. And for the ears, you're going to have to pull this through. I tried just looping this around these and going around. It does not look right. I don't like it at all. So, you see the bars showing. You have to pull and fluff those. So this, for the ears, you just pull through and wrap. Now, pull through and wrap. I'm not going to record all of this. I'm going to pause and get this done, and I'll be right back with you when I finish the ears section. Okay, and when you get to the bottom of this ear, you can pull this through. I think I need one more loop. I'm about to cut this off. This is in the way and bugging me, and I don't like the way it looks, so it's got to go anyway. You can loop this across right here. Come on, all the way across. Wait a minute, wait. Back up. I don't like the way that looks. Go under. So that it just looks better to me. That they're separate, not one solid line. There we go. Flip that out. That's kind of tucked down. Okay. Now, go around this like the other one. First, hold on. I'm gonna snip these off. Don't, if you have this problem with this one, don't snip it all the way off here because you need that notch to wrap. Well, not really. Well, yeah, you will, probably the pink part. There we go. Alright, we'll finish around this and we'll be back for the inside of the ears. Okay, now when you get to the end of this ear, you can wrap this around. And if you have the similar situation where this needs to be removed, you can glue this back on here, or if you want, if you have enough of this section for the ears, you can just loop this and glue it right there. And then we're going to move on to the belly and the inside of the ears. Okay, so now I got the ear finished wrapping. Wrapped this around behind, and I made the little loop to hang it on, or hang it from. And at first I did it way up here, but when I turned it around, you could see it here, so be careful from that, and it made it look a little odd. So make sure that your loop is below the little junction right here, so that you can hang it and it doesn't show from the behind. Okay, so now for the belly. The belly, I cut 65 inches of the pink chenille yarn. And this, see, look, that one doesn't want to catch and stay. It's one of those on a little short notch. So I'm going to put a little hot glue on that notch. That's going to happen with these. Some of the little notches are shorter and don't hold really well. So just stick a little glue in there and hold it for a little bit. Then we're going to start with our pink chenille yarn. And I'm going to start on my right and pull it through. Again, we're going to glue. So it holds in place. Hold it down and let it get good and attached. Then we'll flip it over and start looping this. This notch is down here, so you're gonna have to push it pretty good to get it through all that other white yarn, and then pull up against that, wrap across. And this one's pretty straightforward. You just push these down the side, pull up against that latch. If you find one that's short, now this one here, I think I should have come over a little further with that first start. I'm gonna have to fix that, and that'll be easy. I'll take a little bitty snip of that and just glue that right there. But I'm not gonna do that until I finish latching these. So when you start yours, make sure you start on the other side of this notch, on that round egg shape. Start on the other side of that notch. If you don't like me, it can be fixed. All right, notch. I'm gonna turn this off till I get this done, and then we'll do the ears. Okay, so when you get to this last piece, you're gonna have to poke that through to catch that little notch there. Sure, catch it. And then thread this end through there. Don't pull it too tight. You can, see it come off that notch. Okay, there we go. Fluff it. Make sure all your little rows look like you want them to. Then come in the back. Shorten that little edge there. Some hot glue on that little center bar. And down across here. Hold that. Let this dry a little bit, and then we'll start on the inside part of the ears. Okay, so when you finished with the belly and got that secured in the back, then we're going to take and start the inside of the ears. I just poked that little piece straight through. Back here, I'm going to put a little glue. A little glue. Hold that, let it secure for just a second. Now on the inside part of these ears, when I start wrapping on them on the inside, you don't want to pull it too tight because you want this fluff to fill that space. So don't pull it too tight. And then you're gonna wrap. See, if you pull it too tight, it doesn't look right. So we're gonna wrap, push down so you can get this piece through the hole. Wrap again. Don't pull too tight. That ear to be fluffy. All right. Now I'm going to keep wrapping the inside of this ear, and I'll be right back to show you how to cross over for the other ear. Okay, now, if instead of doing it like I did it, you start at the top, which is the way I did the other bunny I did. If you start at the top and you wrap down, when you get to the back, when you get to the back and you're done wrapping your ear, if you've done it from top to bottom, you can simply go across and start wrapping on the other ear. I didn't do that, so I'm going to have to trim this because I don't want to start over. I'm going to trim this and then I'll go to the next ear. Okay, now for the other ear, same thing, but I'm going to start at the top like I was supposed to do on the other one. If you do that and you go across, then you don't have to do this little glue section again because it's attached. Hold that, let it do a little bit, and then start wrapping the ear. And do this just like the other side, and then we will move on to the eyes, the little embellishments, eyes, nose, whiskers. Okay, now for the embellishments. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It is a memory wire. It says oval bracelet. You could probably use other things depending on, what you have. But I use this for the little necklace at the top, and I use this for the whiskers. The little necklace part is 4.5 inches that I trim. 4.5 inches. And then these are for the whiskers, and they're 3 inches. So just measure 3 inches and clip it. Now you can go it shot way over there. You can go a little longer, but you don't want to go shorter because you can't add to it. So now I need for this some little clips that are needle nose pliers, but I'm having to use my wire clips because I don't have any that's got a thin enough end. I'm gonna have to get some, and I grab that, I don't know if you can see that wire, but I grabbed the little end, and I just twist it to make a loop. And you have to work at it a little bit. And it's a little hard with the wire clippers, because you have to be careful not to clip the wire in two. So if you have some needle nose pliers, they work a lot better than this. But in order to get this out where y'all can see it, I'm going to go ahead and use this. And you just make a loop, so that this is just so that your beads stay on and they don't fall off. And it kind of makes a little curl on the end of the whisker. Sorry about that loud noise coming from outside. The cars live right on a busy highway. Get that twisted. You get your loop. Now, you don't have to use the same embellishments. You can come up with your own ideas. That's a good thing about this crafting. You can do what you like to do with it. But got that loop on for the whiskers. And for each, got these at Hobby Lobby as well. And these are little tiny beads. And you're going to take them. I hope they don't run away all over the place. You take them and you're going to take the opposite end from where you curled, and you're just going to string them till the whole entire wire is full, except about 1/4 of an inch. That 1/4 of an inch you're going to turn down once you get the whiskers made. So I'm going to do all the loops on all my little whiskers and string all my beads, and we'll come back for the next section. Okay, now for the embellishments. Measured the little wire 3 inches, and when got to the end of each one, I made a bend and then put a little drop of hot glue so as not to lose my beads, so they don't fall off. I'm going to add more glue when I'm putting them in, and that will also help hold them in place. Sorry about that light. Let that dry just a little bit, and when it gets good and dry, I'm going to take and look for your center on your face. And then I'm going to take a good little bit of glue on the end of that wire that's folded. I'm going to find exactly where I want to put it. The center of that face where my nose is going to go. Separate that. Push that in. Hold it down. Let that sit. And then I'm going to do that for all of the whiskers. And you'll do them where when you glue it, they're kind of like that. 1, 2, and 3. We'll get these done and we'll move on to the nose and eyes. Okay, now that I got the whiskers placed in there, once I get the nose and everything set, you can bend and shape the whiskers how you like them. Now I got those in there. You see I've got a good little bit of hot glue in there to make sure those stay and don't fall out. Then we're going to move to the nose to put in the center. Got these little pom-poms, and you take one And you can leave it white if you want to. But I like to put a little pink on it, especially since the ears are pink. I've got a little eyeshadow thing. You could probably use blush or, you know, whatever shade and stuff that you like. And I just take the little pom-pom and brush it on. And keep brushing until it's the shade I want. And you notice it gets a little darker and stuff. You can take and just blend it like with your finger until you get it like you want it. Okay, now that I got the nose colored really good with the thing, I'm gonna flip it over to the back. Still white back there. Put a good little thing of hot glue on there. Stick that right in the middle of those whiskers. Push it down and hold it. I'm gonna let this hold for just a minute to make this really seal, and we'll be right back. Okay, now got the nose in place. I don't know if that shows really clearly or not. Let's see. Got the nose in place and the whiskers. Now for the eyes. And I have some eyes ordered from online, but when I started my first ones, I didn't have any yet, and so I went to the thrift store and got some old teddy bears and dogs and bunnies and things, and got those and dismantled them. And that's where these eyes for my last two rabbits came from. So, put a lot of glue on that little stud on the eyes. Okay, these eyes, just figure exactly where you want them. Push them down in. Good bit of hot glue on those studs of the eyes so that they will stay. That's blurry. There we go, I think. And then for the little necklace, I got these beads here at Hobby Lobby. And it's got pinks, blues, greens, white, all kind of thing. And then I just strung them in a sequence on a piece of wire, like the wire for the whiskers. And then I bent at the point where the bead is, I bent it in an L shape. And then I'm going to stick it on either side of this. When I push it through, it'll push all those up together like that. And then you're going to flip it to the other side, push these down, and twist. All right, then I'm going to show you the last steps. Okay, now I've got the eyes and the nose and whiskers and little necklace done. Last step is for the bow. for its little ear. Now, if you don't want to do a necklace, you could do a little satin ribbon. You could leave it without anything on it. You could make you a little bow there, little flowers, customize it how you want. And if you make these, I would love to see what you do and your versions of them. It's always interesting to see everybody's different ideas, because we all create things differently, have our own versions. Now, I'm going to use a little polka dot ribbon. I cut a little section off that I'm going to use to secure around this. And I'm going to tie, actually, I'm going to do a little bit longer of a section because I want to tie a little knot in it. Just to add a little dimension to the bow. Well, two over. Move this out of the way. This is a thicker ribbon, a wider ribbon than I used on the other rabbit, so it's a little bit harder to tie that knot in. So, got to get both ends turned to where the polka dots show. Tie a little knot right there, and that's going to be the center part of your bow, and it's going to help secure your bow. Now this, you're going to literally like wrap it around your fingers and pull it to where there's like a little tail there and here. Then you can see the little bow shape. I'm going to cut this side off. I'm going to dovetail those ends in a second. But first, we're going to take this into the middle. We'll wrap it around the back. And then I'm going to cut these and hot glue them in place. And I'm going to kind of scrunch those so it makes a little bow shape. And I'm going to trim that. Put some hot glue here. I think I'm going to have to get another glue stick. Push those back up like I had them. Wrap this up, hold it in place, and let it dry for just a minute. Pull those legs down straight so they're face out the right way. Then make sure that knot's right in the center. Push these down a little bit. Then we're going to put some more glue. I need that glue stick. Some more glue right there in the middle. You're going to want to pull that kind of tight across there. See the little knot in the center? I don't know if you can see that really well. I might have to. You see the knot? And then I'm going to trim off the excess. I'm still holding that to make sure that holds. Now see around the back, there's this poking up. I'll trim that off. And then I'm going to take these little ends, pull them down, and then you fold this in half. I'm going to dovetail those ends like that. Dovetail the ends. a little glue on the back. The glue gun has decided to be difficult. There we go. Pull this down. Place that right in the crease of that ear. Push down. Give it time to dry. Fluff your little ends. And there's your chenille yarn bunny. Start to finish. And I'm going to try to get the videos out for the cross wreath. Get it done and get those step by step to show that as well. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, if I wasn't clear on anything, or I confuse you a little bit on anything, just, you know, send me a message or in the comments, and I'll see if I can help walk you through and make it a little more clear.